Okay. Here we go. We're good to go here. Okay. We will start momentarily after the national anthem.
Disclaimer. And welcome to Week 7 GMC football. We're here at Virgil Swan Stadium where the Colerain Cardinals will take on the hosting Hamilton Big Blue. I'm Brian Wyatt along with Brandon Wyatt from WeAreColerain.com bringing you live GMC action. Today your Colerain Cardinals come in at 5-1 and Hamilton Big Blue at 3-3. It's a GMC matchup, so throw all records away. Hamilton comes in here with a kind of a mixed record. So 3-3. They've got wins over West Claremont, over Anderson, and no kills. Losses to Lakota West, Fairfield, and last week to Mason. Colerain Cardinals, they have one loss to the St. Xavier Bombers, and they've beaten Wayne, Oak Hills, Princeton, and Middletown, and last week over a stingy Sycamore team. Hamilton comes in here with total offense of 319 yards, which is fourth in the GMC. Really a kind of a balance, 157 yards rushing, 162 yards passing, and averaging 24 points a game. Your Colerain Cardinals, they are second in the GMC at offense, and we know what they do. They rush the ball 268 yards rushing in a game, passing for an effective 70 yards a game when scoring 29.7 points. Hamilton, your big players to watch. It all starts with the quarterback. Number one, Quincy Sims Marshall, a 6'1" junior. He has thrown for 900 yards, 8 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. It's also rushed for 118 yards. Their leading back in the backfield kind of split a little bit between Keyshawn Stevens and Caleb Johnson. Both rushed for about 400 yards, with Stevens with 9 touchdowns, Johnson with 3. Leading receiver Darren Bolin for the Hamilton Big Blue. He has got a 428 yards receiving and 4 touchdowns. They are a good team, and we're on their field. So, Brandon, we're going to talk about Colerain's offensive players to watch. We know it's Freddie Johnson. All starts with the quarterback. 325 yards passing, 344 yards rushing, and a total of 7 touchdowns. M.J. Flowers, your big sophomore fullback. 6'1", 185 pounds, 440 yards rushing, and 5 touchdowns. You also see a lot of Jalen Thomas, a two-way player playing running back and linebacker. He's rushed for 330 yards and 3 touchdowns, and you got to watch him out of the backfield. He's only caught 10 passes, but he's got 194 yards of that. He also, 25 tackles and 2.5 sacks. Your senior captain on the offensive line, leading kind of an inexperience, but really this far into the season, really no one you shouldn't call them inexperienced. Ace Aaron Schwender, one of your senior captains. Brandon, views of this game. What do you see your big keys?
Keys to this game will be slowing down this Hamilton offense. They've been pretty good on offense, but have been kind of porous in defense. They're a team that has kept teams close early and then kind of faded in the second half. So it'll be up to the Cardinals to get out and early on the Colerain Cardinals. And it's only a matter because we're in the GMC. But those 900 yards, not a lot passing through 6 games for most teams. That's actually the second most prolific passing team in the GMC behind only Sycamore. Now
you look at, I always like to compare to same opponents. And really, we're halfway through the season, and they've only got one like opponent so far. That's Oak Hills, where Hamilton won 31-21, and Colerain won 45-14. But you know, a lot of those stats and those scores get skewed because both those teams probably had a pretty big lead against Oak Hills, and your starters were taken out early.
And we know the main back for the Hamilton Big Blue is Keyshawn Stevens, but it's a little bit of give and take. Last year, coming into the game against the Colerain, every single one of their quarterbacks was hurt, and so it was kind of an easy game for the Colerain defense because Stevens, their stud running back, who's now a junior, was a sophomore at the time. He had to play quarterback by default. They had no one else. Everyone knew it was Wildcat every single play, so it'll be kind of different here this year. We don't really have that much depth. We might see Keyshawn Stevens work with Caleb Robinson, maybe a little Wildcat zone read that way. Quincy Sims-Marshall is the second leading passer in the GMC, but again, that's only about 900 yards over 6 games.
Yeah, and we've seen traditionally Hamilton Big Blue has always been big up front. Big offensive lineman, big defensive lineman, but I think this is a game where you're going to see the Colerain conditioning program up front kind of take over. Always, as you said, always seem to be close early when these two teams play. Colerain coaches make adjustments, Hamilton make adjustments, but I think the big key to Colerain's success over this is Hamilton is just being better conditioned team.
And as you see the Colerain Cardinals taking the field, take this time to remind you that this Waycross community broadcast is also simulcast live with WeAreColerain.com. Those of you listening at home on WeAreColerain.com, this is a away game, and therefore by Ohio high school rules, we cannot show you a live game footage. You have a view of the scoreboard at home. Unfortunately, we cannot show you live game footage. For those watching on tape delay here on Waycross, we welcome you and thank our partners there at Waycross working with us at WeAreColerain.com to make this collaboration happen. For those of you listening live, again, you can reach us in the booth at radio@WeAreColerain.com or directly in our YouTube feed chats. We'll try to answer questions, give us a shout out, where you're from, where you're listening to, maybe what year you graduated.
Yeah, tape delay. Traditionally, Waycross makes that available about after midnight. We'll have that up, a link to that on our website, so you'll be able to actually see this game live. And special
on tape delay, not live.
Oh, well, live on tape delay.
Well, not really tape. It's streamed.
It's digitally recorded?
Digital. It's in zeros and ones.
I don't know, but yeah, special thanks go out. Anytime we go to an away game, and we're short-staffed tonight, we showed up, and make a long story short, I got here early, Brandon got here late, but I had everything set up only to find out that we were set up in the wrong booth. So thanks for Tony Suarez and his crew, all these guys from Waycross, and my son Brandon.
There's normally 5 of us. I don't thank you for getting us up. There's normally 5 of us, or 6 of us, 2 on the field, 4 up here. Tonight there's just the 2 of us, so we're trying to make it work. And I didn't show up till about 7 minutes ago because I had to close on my condo. So I had to rush into the stadium. I probably parked where I'm not allowed to in a V/P section. No one stopped me. I got up here.
And what was great, I got here early, had everything set up, everything was working. I was so proud of myself, and then I looked over a couple of booths later and saw the Waycross crew, and had to break down and set up as quickly as we've ever done it. And hey,
you've ever done it. Let's be clear. Hamilton won the toss and elected to receive, so the Colerain Cardinals will kick off to start this ballgame.
And you'll lose the toss, but you get what you want. Colerain traditionally will defer to the second half.
Hamilton will be in all blue going left to right on your television dial. Colerain Cardinals with the white tops, red bottoms. And it is the case in all but 2 schools this year in the GMC, both teams sporting white helmets.
Yep. Caleb Johnson, Kevin Burnett, and Keyshawn Stevens back deep for the blue.
Cardinals have gone with the pop-up little kickoff almost exclusively this year on the kickoffs.
What I'm looking at, too, watching, there is a big gap around the 20-25 yard line here on this or left side. But
that's because they know they're going to kick it to the right, and that's exactly what Cameron Ott does. High in the air to about the 23. Ball's bobbled, picked up, fumbled, not going to be recovered by the Cardinals, able to be recovered by the up man for the Big Blue. That's number 24, Jaden Marshall. The up man kind of bobbled the kickoff, but he's able to pick it up. No gain, though, on the coverage. And the Big Blue will start on their own 22-yard line.
It's Colerain defense up front. It's Elijah Ford, Dante Corleone, L.T. Johnson, Donovan Owens, and Jalen Thomas.
Quincy Sims Marshall in the backfield. He's flanked by Keyshawn Stevens. Trips to the right, one single set the other way. Handoff up the middle. Stevens tries to bounce outside, and he's met by a host of Colerain Cardinals. He tried to get the edge, and it's not there. Elijah Ford, along with a host of Cardinals, make the tackle.
Yeah, Ford gets credit for the tackle, but that weak side, L.T. Johnson, the 5'11", 220-pound senior, really gets a lot of speed off that edge, beats the left tackle, and chases him down from behind. 2-yard loss.
The Cardinals did get some unfortunate news this week. We'll get to that when we get a chance. Is the Hamilton going pretty quickly to the line. Johnson in motion. He's going to roll right. Sims Marshall looking to the flat. He's got a receiver, and he's going to catch it about a yard short of the first down.
That's your leading receiver, and this Darren Bowling. He just runs a simple out off the rollout. Sits down on the pass, and the ball's a little bit low, but he keeps it in his hands. Picks up about 10, so it's going to be third down and about 1.
Quickly to the line, the most basic pattern in football. Just a little flood route. Three men.
Good thing there's no replay.
Yeah, we'll get it quickly as Hamilton gets to the line. That little flood pattern, you got 3 levels, and you pick the right one there. Sims Marshall looks to the sidelines for the play. They have a big blue need 1 yard for a first down here.
So you got 2 pretty good-sized backs dotting on either side of the quarterback.
Motion, they're going to go speed option to the outside. They force the pitch. Elijah Ford is there, but Robinson able to break that initial tackle in the backfield and get just the 2 yards needed for the first down.
Yeah, Elijah Ford, as you said, met him out there. He had him for about a 2-yard loss, but the strong running back breaks the arm tackle and picks up the first down out to the 34-yard line.
I can't tell, is that 2 or 5 who made that play? I think that was Stevens 5.
Yeah. Yeah, like Hamilton has the silver.
Well, I can see the
I think
numbers.
it's 5.
I can't
5
tell
in
the difference
backfield
between
now.
the 2 from 5
Yeah.
from here. Handoff again. Stevens up the middle. He's met by Xander Kendall. He's not going to get stopped initially. He'll fall forward for about 3 yards. But his helmet come off, so he will have to come out of play. Cardinals got some pretty devastating news as Keyshawn Stevens' helmet comes off. He'll have to be replaced with this play. Their starting middle linebacker, junior Mike Best, has a knee injury and probably will not play at least the rest of the regular season. So it'll be Brian Beavers, your starting tight end, who will have to move over to the other side of the ball, and you have another two-way player for the Colerain Cardinals.
Yeah, Blake Hawkins going to come in, kind of a little wild quarterback lined up behind the line of scrimmage, but then sets out.
That's still Sims Marshall.
No, the running back actually was under center.
He was not. He was just there in a little quick thing. Yeah. He's going to give him right to the sticks.
Yeah, Williams gives a little bit of a cushion and makes that route a little bit easier. Just a quick hook to the outside, picks up another first down to the 44.
Stevens still alligator Robinson in the backfield. Two first downs for the Big Blue. Speed option again to the right. They're going to try to get the outside. Deshaun Pace cuts it underneath, and a minimal gain there for Caleb Robinson.
Yeah, L.T. Johnson with support. And as you said, he came flying up from his safety position. Just a huge closing speed to the outside to limit to a 2-yard gain.
Excuse me, Caleb Johnson. I think Caleb Robinson was a basketball player at Big Hamilton a few years ago. I could be wrong. Or
I think there's been a lot of Robinsons.
I think I just said the wrong
traditional
name. Either
athletes
way.
here.
Again, Hamilton know how to look to the sidelines.
Everything out of the shotgun so far.
Handoff. Stevens makes a cut on Thomas, and he's going to just get through there. Where does he fall forward? It'll be marked again, just 2 yards short of the line to gain.
Been successful in all their third down and shorts. It's a little bit easier than the third down and longs. They're going to need about 1.5 yards. Again, we've seen it. A lot of teams don't go to the huddle anymore. Tries to draw Colerain off sides. Colerain doesn't move, so he looks to the sideline for the play.
Pace coming on a blitz. Quick hit the other way. And just a simple hitch for the first down to the leading receiver, Darren Bowling.
Got a catch. I think they might have caught Colerain on a little surprise right there. Kind of looking for the run up the middle. Runs a quick little out to Darren Bowling. So Colerain defense really does put their corners on a cushion. Huge matchup there.
Sims Marshall again. He's got trips now to the boundary. Handoff up the middle. Stevens looking for space, and it's not there. Shut down initially by Donovan Owens.
The handoff was to number 5, Keyshawn Stevens. And on the stop for Colerain is number 8, Xander Kendall.
So that'll bring up like 2nd down and 9. Hamilton again, no huddle. 3 wide receivers to the top, 1 to the bottom, single running back. Colerain just set it up with 3 offensive linemen. They're dropping their outside linebackers in pass coverage.
Elijah Ford coming with a blitz. Cardinals are trying to apply pressure into the flat. Not there. Even if it was, Deshaun Pace was there to clean it up. But a good blitz there. Corner backside, Sean Williamson applying the pressure to Sims Marshall. Has to quickly get it away into the flat. That's not there. His pass is too high. Didn't matter. Deshaun Pace would have been there for a 2-yard loss.
Yeah, makes the right adjustments as the quarterback. He throws it to the area where the linebacker was blitzing, but the safety reads that too. So they made the right read. Defense makes the right read. A 3rd down and long.
See what the Cardinals bring pressure here. Elijah Ford coming from his side. Quick hit. Pass tips. And Jalen Thomas, good defense. He knew exactly where the Big Blue wanted to go. They wanted their leading receiver, Bowling. Again, a little quick out. Stops right at the sticks, but so did Jalen Thomas. And that ball, if on target, is 6 the other way.
Absolutely. Bowling, 6'3", he has a little bit of height, but Jalen Thomas sit right on it. And if he throws it to where he could catch it, that's Thomas' ball. Great defense, blanketed underneath too.
As a receiver could get it, but that allowed Thomas to tip it away.
So, kind of in the area. This is a good area that Hamilton might try a fake
It's a good
punt.
spot for fake for Justin McCullough, the punter for the Big Blue, but he will kick it away. It's a high floater. Deshaun Pace will call the fair catch and smartly keep that ball from bouncing, but the Cardinals will start deep in their own territory at their own 14-yard line.
Yeah, good kick. Really didn't do much. He just kicked it straight up in the air. No return.
And it's a good play on both ends. If you're Colerain, you don't want that ball to bounce any farther, but if you're the Big Blue, you don't want that ball to go too far and be in the end zone. So.
Yeah, and it forced the return man to come up in a lot of crowd and make that catch. He doesn't want it to bounce. Pretty much you catch it if it's outside the 10. If it's inside the 10, you let it bounce. But that thing was kind of a knuckleball, kind of a tough catch to make.
So Freddie Johnson leads the offense out. They're going to come out in tight splits. And it'll be interesting. We said starting tight end Brian Beavers is now starting middle linebacker. So we'll see how the Cardinals adjust up front. Quickly to the line. Call the play right away. MJ Flowers keeps it. Tripped up as he comes out of the veer. And he still falls forward, but he was a footstep away from 6 points.
Yeah, the big sophomores following behind that offensive line. Beavers playing a little bit of tight end. We're going to see Elijah Ford and Ben. We might see a little bit of Ben Marshall at tight end, but we know we're going to see Steg Mueller, Burt, Aaron Schwenner, Carnes, and Malik up front for the Colerain Cardinals.
Cardinals I formation, sending Flowers in motion, quick pitch out. Jalen Thomas makes a man miss in the backfield, breaks one tackle. He's still out in the open, and he's finally broke down. That should have been a 4-yard loss for the Cardinals, but a little shimmy shake, and Thomas has the first down.
He's a strong runner. He gets out there. You're not going to get him with an arm tackle. Kind of barrel-chested. It's tough to get your arms around him. So he runs through the tackle, picks it up, going to bring it all the way out to the Colerain 33, first down, your Cardinals.
And yes, that is Beavers going both ways. Nope, that's not Beavers going both ways.
So we watch a replay of Jalen Thomas getting outside, breaks that arm tackle.
And a flag from the sidelines.
All sides
on Hamilton.
He had no movement up front. He must have been lined up in the neutral zone.
So one of two things is going on for the Cardinals. Either backup linebacker Jordan Jones is now tight end for the Colerain Cardinals after one. And a little confusion there. I think.
Yeah, that was interesting. Colerain snapped the ball, but the official really hadn't started
the official
clock
blew
yet,
the whistle.
but they didn't stop the play.
But they didn't stop the play. The official probably should have stopped the play there. MJ Flowers picks up 4. It'll be 2nd down and 1. But as I was saying, either backup linebacker Jordan Jones is playing tight end after 1 week of practice, or as is tradition, you sometimes get a lineman switches to an eligible number to play tight end. I'm going to go with Jordan Jones, though, for this sake until someone tells me.
What number do you think he's wearing?
27. It's the extra tight end, or it's the tight end.
Yeah,
Cardinals, 5 seconds.
27 in our program is listed at Jason Moore. And I believe
Freddie Johnson keeps it, and he's got the outside, and no one out there in space, just the angle to beat, and the Big Blue knock him out of bounds just inside the 30. Oh, no, I'm sorry, you're correct. That Jordan Jones is 27 for Hamilton. Got my rosters mixed up.
Yeah, that he's listed in there as Jason Moore, a 5'5", 145-pound running back.
No, he's listed as Kawasi Jones in this one, so you're back. So I was correct in my assessment that we put an offensive lineman in eligible.
We've got something going on. We've got two different rosters here from Colerain, and neither one of them correct.
No, it's correct on whatever one I got for some reason.
So first down for Colerain, the Big Blue 29.
Handoff Flowers, and he's just going to follow the pile, mauls it to the 25.
Just power football inside, sets up the outside. Traditional Colerain option, just kind of run that fullback, try to get the linebackers to overplay and work that pitch off the safeties, defensive ends. So far, the success with the fullback early bodes well for the Colerain Cardinals. Wide splits this time.
Flowers gets it stuffed up in the backfield, breaks one tackle, but he's going to lose a yard with forward progress, and a good job by the Big Blue defense to stuff that play.
Yeah, as Jaden Marshall comes up from his linebacker position. Colerain overloads that left side, but so does the Big Blue. Somebody goes unblocked.
He's going to get credit for it, but I think that was your defensive lineman who pushed the tackle back that really should get credit for knocking Flowers off of his veer track.
So that'll set up a third down and 7. Probably a 2-down territory. You're in Cameron Ott's range about now, but that's about the limit of his range. So going to the I formation for the first time.
Second time. Quickly, handoff, counter. Jalen Thomas tries to get the outside. He breaks one. Can't bust a second, and he's going to get stopped after just a short gain.
According to the spot, he's barely getting back to the line of scrimmage. That's the first time we've seen a draw play from Colerain in a long time.
Here's kind of a half draw, half counter, and what it was is ineffective, regardless of what you called it.
They come back, the defensive lineman up the middle does not get blocked.
So the Cardinals will set up for the field goal attempt. Cameron Ott to set up at the 34, so it'll be a 44-yard attempt. Brandon Sinclair, Aaron Swinner with the snap. Prather with the hold, Ott with the kick. Snap is back, kick is up, and kick is
wide right.
Good.
Oh, it's good.
So with 2:31 to play in the first quarter, it's your Colerain Cardinals 3. The Hamilton Big Blue 0, and that was a very long, short, fast quarter.
We're going to see two teams that like to run the ball. Hamilton, as I said, has thrown the ball a lot, but they were completed a lot of passes, so that keeps the clock rolling. Sets up for a very quick game, which limits possession time for either team. Got to make each possession count. So far, each team has had one. Big Blue coming up empty on theirs. Colerain drives the length of the field and gets 3 of their own.
For those of you listening live on the WeAreColerain.com's YouTube page, we want to give a shout out to Mike Noyes, Michelle Tobias, Mark Knott, and Lenny Lopez for checking in.
You know, 1 in 8 women will develop invasive breast cancer over the course of their lifetime. Please remind the women in your
Johnson, Burnett, and Stevens sets up deep. Not as deep as they did last time. Colerain, they've been scouting them, been doing that little pop-up around the 20. All the receivers actually are setting up inside outside the 10-yard line. Not much wind tonight. There's a kind of a threat of rain. Had a little bit of rain early, which doesn't really affect play too much.
Cameron Ott's kick is up, and again, it's going to be a pop-up to about the 20-yard line. Taken, and there's 3 Cardinals there, but they all run by. Defender gets down the sidelines, and a big return for the Big Blue.
If you're going to pop it up, you got to get a little bit more height than that. He hit it to the area he wanted, but that ball was a little bit flatter than he wanted to. A bad angle on the outside contain, as we see, gets it and just goes straight to the outside, and there's nobody there. You ran over. You got to know where the ball's at. You got to know where the ball carrier's at. You got to know your lanes, and they just turned in too early. Simply went outside him all the way out to the 45.
So Sims Marshall. Not under center in the shotgun formation. Takes the snap and he looks right and he wants for his man right away, and that one's way too high. Looking for the 6'3" Bolin right away, but the pass sails high, incomplete.
Just a timing route right there, just a quick in. If he hits him, I mean, he's 6'3", gets underneath him as Kenny Willis in coverage, but just kind of overthrows him.
Yeah, Kenny Willis, the sophomore, getting his first start over their corner. That was the spot occupied by Devontae Kiner. No word on where is his situation tonight. Speed option. Sims Marshall tries to cut it back across the other way, and Elijah Ford is waiting for him.
Yeah, Elijah Ford gets credit for that tackle, but let's see. Somebody blows it up right there. Oh, that's LT. He blows up and he takes away the pitching lane by putting the guard in the middle of it. So he's got no chance of pitching to him. A huge loss, about a 5-yard loss. Third down and 15.
And he's going to get a kind spot because he probably could have been marked even bigger for that loss. So 3rd and 15. Sims Marshall looks to the sidelines. Sims Marshall steps back. He looks right away. Quick pass, tackle, caught, but it is going to be about 5 yards short of the first down. Pass complete to Kevon Bournette, but it'll be short of the line of game. And the Cardinals force another 4th down.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, they're farther out than they were last time, but they're leaving that offense out there. You have to watch this long snap. A lot of times you'll see at the quarterback, if he's past your traditional quarterback long snap, and look maybe the quick kick here.
First time they've huddled tonight. You say that, but Sims Marshall does not have punt on the hands.
And they're going to look to maybe draw Colerain off sides. Fullback goes in motion. Colerain does not move. 2 seconds left in the play clock, and there's the timeout. Colerain smartly does not fall for the hard count. It's going to bring up a 4th down and 5.
3 convenient locations to serve you. McDonald's Lavaggio is a proud sponsor of Big Blue Athletics. Whether it's for breakfast.
Yeah, I don't know about that call. I never liked that. It's just a waste of time. It's okay in the first half, I guess.
Late in the half, maybe if you got a lot of timeouts left, but it's very rarely successful.
And it's not like they did anything fancy up front or anything.
Yeah, you could hear what they were doing.
And it was very clear they weren't going to stab it because the guy in motion just kind of chopped his feet for about 10 seconds.
Yeah, and Colerain does the fake motion and he stomps his foot real hard and ducks his head. But the other their guy just kind of shuffled his feet along. No real heavy motion. That's going to bring out your punter.
Coach Nate Mahone is in his first season at Hamilton. Was the former coach at Northwest High School.
Yeah, Justin McCullough is going to set up at about his 35. He's got a little bit more room for a return.
Deshaun Pace is not really
that deep.
No,
there he
he's
goes.
only about 25 yards past the line of scrimmage. He's set up. Now he's slightly backed up, but he's only about the 23-yard line. Pop-up kick. It's going to be returned by Deshaun Pace with a fair catch. Ball bounces.
Did he touch that? Oh, evidently not. Hamilton is not celebrating, but that ball was kicked short, and I don't know if it caught wind or something, but Pace kind of dove for it. Luckily, we whiffed. That'd have been a big turnover. You've got to make that decision right away. If you get it, get it. If not, get out of the way.
Well, I think he did make a decision to fair catch it, but he just, for some reason, jumped out of the way at the last second. Maybe just lost it in the wind and smartly gets away from it.
Well, we see here the replay. He was leaning over kind of a half dive to get it, knew he wasn't going to, pulled his arm. So he dove, but pulled his arms back away from the ball.
Either way, Cardinals start again deep in their own territory. Last time they started at their own, inside their own half. Now they'll start at their own 8. Inside handoff, fullback MJ Flowers fights over and picks up about 2 yards, and a nice little fake there. Fake the jet sweep, little fullback trap underneath.
Number 11, Luke Mejia.
Yeah, really impressive there. Luke Mattia, the 6'4" linebacker, senior, one of your captains, comes flying up the middle, an impressive athlete in the middle of the field. Kind of Colerain fans, kind of in stature, reminds me of Jared Grace from a couple years ago. So he'll pick up 2, make it 2nd down and 8.
Trap coming back the other way, counter. Jalen Thomas wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. Will fall forward for another 2 to 3 yards.
And that's Mattia again. Mattia.
And that'll be the end of the first quarter.
That's the quarter?
As the Cardinals run to the other sidelines. It only took 20 minutes, but after 1 quarter of play here at Hamilton Big Blue, trail your Colerain Cardinals 3-0.
Yeah, that's what surprised. I was surprised when you said that. I'm looking up. I cannot see the scoreboard from my seat. So
I mean, by my count, there's 1, maybe 2 incompletions, and just run the ball back and forth.
Yeah. Colerain didn't have many big plays. They methodically worked the ball down the field.
So a big 3rd down here for the Cardinals. They'll be 3rd and 5 at their own 13, so a big play here, trying to get out of their own ends.
Yeah, I don't expect anything fancy. They've got a couple passing plays they work through, but they've got a very quality punter. You don't want to turn it over deep in your own end. But you do have plenty of room to work. Marked as a 3rd down. Well, referees are having a hard time with setting up the yard markers where they're exactly supposed to be. The referees have said getting together. The 3rd down marker was making it 3rd down and 8. I believe they spotted the ball in the wrong place also. So with the yard markers, got it all the way back. Okay, here we go.
Ball's at the 13. They need about the 18. Tank formation for the Cardinals. Freddie Johnson just going to follow in between, and he does not get the blocking. He's going to not get any yards on the play.
You put your defensive linemen and a couple linebackers back there to block. You get a little bit beef, but they whiffed on that block, went right past the linebacker. He blows up the play. I'll bring up Lawson Sandusky, kicking out of his own end zone.
So exactly the kind of start the Big Blue want here this quarter.
They're going to have 2 return men setting up inside their own 50 at the 45.
Sandusky takes the punt, and it's away, and it's a pretty good one out ahead.
Really good.
High, we fielded, bobbled. Jalen Thomas there to make the tackle. Nearly fumbled it there. Was your other punter, Justin McCullough's your return man there.
I tell you what, he did a great job just to hang on to that. He, as we're watching the replay, the kick's up there, and Jalen Thomas is flying right at him. He makes the catch, but as it does, it pops out of his hand right as Thomas hits him. And I believe that the contact from Thomas almost pushes him into the ball.
So, Big Blue will now take over at their own 45-yard line.
It's about time for Big Blue to take a shot deep.
I'm going to guess they're going to go a double move right at the sophomore in his first career start here near side. Sims Marshall steps up in the pocket, trying to find some space. He's going to get past the line of scrimmage, out of bounds. He's going to pick up about 3 yards.
Wow. I know they're looking for a lot of safety recently, but we watched towards the tail end of the play as the quarterback scrambles to the outside. There's a blind side block that's not called. Right there. It's a big hit, but a 3-yard gain.
2nd and 7 for the Big Blue.
They're at their own 48.
4 wide receivers, 2 to either side for the Big Blue.
Kind of a quiet night on both stands. I think the anticipation of something happening.
Well, along with the rain, and I know there was a whole bunch of traffic problems as the play clock was winding down. A timeout from Coach Mahone.
That's their 2nd timeout already.
2nd timeout of the half. And I know there was a bunch of traffic problems. Now, granted, those are all on 75, which is not in this direction for Colerain Cardinals, but that is people coming home from work to get here.
Entirely in the regional campuses in Hamilton and Middletown. You can apply
It
for
was
admission
an,
by going to regionals.miamicoh.com.
quiet. It was rainy. Haven't seen any rain since the start of this game.
Well, let's check the radar as we get here in second quarter. Here at, was it Virtual Swarm Field?
You're correct.
As we anticipate in the GMC battle, both teams just kind of, it's early in the fight, just throwing some jabs. Colerain getting the field goal. Hamilton hanging around, want to keep it close as long as it can. And they want to possess the ball, keep it away from Colerain offense.
I mean, Colerain got, 2 possessions there in the first quarter?
They each got 2, 1.5.
Yeah, 1.5.
So Hamilton.
No, 2.
So second down and 7.
Cardinals force the pitch off of there. Stevens looking for space. He's going to slot.
Ball carrier number 5, Keyshawn Stevens.
Yeah, looking for a little bit of holding the outside. And the referee says no, it's a clean block as they get the pitch out there. So he'll be stopped, but it kind of slips through a little bit. Makes this third down and 3 a little bit easier. Pretty successful so far on these third down and shorts as the Hamilton Big Blue.
Wide open, ball tipped in the air, and that's caught. I don't know if he's an eligible receiver.
That's an offensive lineman. Does he become eligible after the ball is tipped?
Was it tipped? Yeah.
Yes, the ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage. He fades out. Scrambles right here. Good pressure for the Colerain. That's LT. Gets his hand on
LT or
that.
Donovan? They both
40.
got 40. 40's LT, okay. Yeah, he is eligible once it's batted. I wasn't sure if he got hit and it kind of fumbled in the air, but someone actually got a handle on it.
So Justin McCullough, the punt team, back in.
This is a good spot for a fake. Real good spot for a fake if I'm the Big Blue.
Well, so far he's had success. He doesn't boom the kicks, but gets enough height and has not had one returned yet.
Pace looking upfield. He's got no blockers, and he's just going to hold it, fall forward for about 2 yards, and the Cardinals, again, will take over deep inside their own territory. This time they'll start at their own 17.
Yeah, Hamilton definitely winning the field position. We see the great coverage by the Big Blue. Pace picked it up there. He had a little bit of space, but no lanes to get through.
Right now, the Big Blue are doing what Colerain usually likes to do. Score, trap the opposing team deep in their own zone. Big Blue haven't been able to capitalize with the field position points.
So Freddie Johnson's going to bring the Colerain Cardinals back out.
First play action. Isaiah Myers, maybe?
Well, the safeties are still sitting deep. I'd almost like to release that tight end seam, but
Handoff up the middle. MJ Flowers. He's going to get about 2, maybe 3 yards on the play. Just short of the 20-yard line.
yeah, Big Blue has did a good job up front. There hasn't been much need. We've seen the big linebacker there in the middle making some plays, Mateo, but really this offensive line is getting kind of.
And you see the significance of the Mike Best injury. Maybe it's not on defense, but it's on offense.
Losing Elijah Ford as your tight end. No.
Brian Beavers.
Or Brian Beavers,
You're
right.
moving a linebacker. And even though he's listed as tight end, he's one of your better blockers on that veer on the backside. So far, the Cardinals have not really gotten much going. Handoff Flowers, as I say it, flies to the middle. Got caught on the back of his own lineman, or else he had more room to run. He trips up and falls to the 25-yard line.
He's got to learn to. He's kind of a tall.
He fumbled the
ball. Popped out, but he's kind of a tall running back. As a sophomore, he's got to use that size. But he's at times getting through the line.
What he's got to do
he's
is
got to
make
get
sure
lower.
he secures the ball.
Yeah.
As we see the replay there on Waycross, he bobbled the ball basically hit the back of the lineman and popped in the air, and he caught it. Handoff. No, Flowers. Johnson does a good job falling forward for the first down. He probably gets more yards if he pitch it, but he knows his down distance, and he just steps up and takes the first down.
Yeah, makes the right read off the fullback. Hits the outside, as I said, just quick, decisive plants his foot, turns it up, first down. Ball spotted at the 30.
And you see Jalen Thomas like, I had space, but you know what? That's a good play with Freddie Johnson just to know that I just need 2 yards for a first down.
Yeah, know you're down in distance, your situation, and that's why he's a quarterback.
I formation for the Cardinals. 2 receivers set to the left. Cardinals hand off Flowers, and again, Hamilton is really doing a good job of getting to not the fullback's route. Just hold Flowers to a 2-yard gain.
Trying to see what they're doing up front. It's kind of disrupting this offensive line. Not nothing we've ever seen. Their nose guard is picking a gap.
Bobble the
fumbled
snap,
that ball.
balls on the floor. Flowers hopefully falls on it. No signal.
Yeah, nobody from Big Blue celebrating right there, but just on the straight handoff right there. Just a little bit late getting it to him, and maybe just looks up to see the defender, but luckily falls directly on his own fumble to bring up a 3rd down and 5.
What could have been a big play for the Cardinals doesn't work, and it'll be 3rd and 5 as they recover the fumble. Interesting what they do here is MJ Flowers, your fullback, is checked out. Lawson Sandusky as another running back is checked in.
Oh, no, we know Sandusky is a tremendous athlete with a lot of speed.
Hamza Abdul-Wahid now at fullback. He gets the carry up the middle, still on his feet, bouncing forward, and it's going to depend on the spot whether they give him the first down or not.
Looks like it'll be about a half-yard short.
Handoff to number 9, Flowers.
Needed the 40, and the ball is perfectly in between the 39, 40-yard lines.
They're leaving their offense up here as they just run a simple dive up the middle. Wahid gets there, but just a little bit short. I'm saying if you don't have anybody over center, you just quarterback sneak this, pick a side.
Handoff. Abdul-Wahid's going to get the first down and more. Just ankle tackled as it slips out of the pile to the 45-yard line. Cardinal first down.
That's what he does best. Wahid has kind of lost his starting spot to the underclassman who's got a lot more size than him. But what he does, he runs low and he runs with toughness. He'll run through you, but all of a sudden, as we see here, pushing the pile, and whoop, there he comes popping out. Low man wins in football a lot of times. It's all about leverage, and he lowered the boom right there to pick up the first down all the way to the 45.
Well, Hamza really has an opportunity here with those 2 fumbles in that first couple of plays there. MJ Flowers taking a seat on the bench for the time being. Counter play. Jalen Thomas found
it's well blocked.
Blocked downfield. Now he's got the sidelines and just the angle to beat. Cuts back, stays in bounds, spinning, backpedals, still on his feet, but finally out of bounds inside the 20-yard line to the Big Blue 16.
Yeah, give it credit to everything on the outside. I believe we could possibly have a storm coming in. The wind has just picked up. The flag's taken off as you hear it. I think it's the outside.
Watch this run here on the replay at Waycross. Jalen Thomas, Isaiah Myers with a great block on the edge. Isaiah Myers stays in. It did get really windy all of a sudden. No rain yet.
The wind is definitely picked up, as you can hear on your microphones. So ball's just outside the 15.
Freddie Johnson hands it off. Hamza Abdul-Wahid flies through one into the end zone.
At the 5:30 mark in the second quarter, Colerain comes back. A long drive capped off by a 15-yard run by Wahid. Takes a 9-0 lead with the extra point, and there's nothing here other than just straight power. He runs through. Look at Aaron Schwender right there, your senior captain. Big pancake block, but what Wahid does is taking advantage. They've sat down Flowers and given him his shot, and he is taking full advantage of his opportunity. Scores the first touchdown of the game.
Hands up for touchdown.
So the snap is back. It is down. It is up.
It's good. 5:35. First second. Stolen guard. Check. Big Blue.
So Colerain with the extra point scores the first touchdown. It is 10-0 here at Virgil Swarm Field. GMC football action. Your Hamilton Big Blue hosting the Colerain Cardinals. Down 10-0.
Cardinals trying. Look, point out.
So that'll bring out the team. So Cameron Ott's going to be setting up at about the 40-yard line. He's popped up the last couple. The other one was returned well by the up man down the sidelines.
Cameron Ott set to kick off.
Be kicking it into a wind now as the wind has really picked up lately.
Pops it up and just stays in bounds.
This time outside contained. It's Lawson Sandusky. With the tackle, the Big Blue is going to start on their own 25-yard line.
So the Cardinals Big Blue start at their own 24 3/4 line.
Back to the shotgun formation.
Handoff up the middle, slips through Stevens, nearly had it. Closed down, it'll get to the 30. Is there a flag on the field?
Yeah, late flag. It's in the area of holding, but I don't. We might have a face mask.
Here's the thing, Kashawn Stevens
Play for Colerain was number 58.
has bright yellow, and it looks like a flag. And it will be holding on the Cardinals, or face mask.
Yeah.
Face mask, 5-yard variety.
Yeah, Donovan Owens did a good job. He broke into the backfield but missed the tackle. So it will be first down. The ball's going to be spotted at the Big Blue 34.
Just an odd calm right now there on the field.
I told you, it's quiet on both sides of the stadium.
The Cardinals are just kind of standing there as waiting for the Big Blue to get the play call. And
yeah, Colerain was doing a little bit something there.
Well, I know exactly what.
I've never seen a linebacker went in motion to cover the left side.
I know exactly what was happening. Colerain was. That's what it was. Colerain was tight. They were all playing the play clock, and not what was going on. Is you saw the blitzers coming there on the replay on Waycross Live.
But
they timed that perfect to the play clock. So it was either you jumped off sides, get a delay game, or you're going to get sacked.
But it was an odd blitz. Elijah Ford from his right side, the outside linebacker, was coming across the left side of the field. And Pace, all the way from his left safety, was coming all the way to that side to the spot vacated.
Sims Marshall hands it off. Up the middle, Caleb Johnson falls forward, but just for 2, maybe. No, we're going to give him 4 yards. Going to be pretty close to the original line of scrimmage.
That's Brian Beavers on the tackle right there. Stays home. Beavers, as we said, getting his first start at middle linebacker.
It's been your starting tight end all year, but injury to Michael Best forces him to play middle linebacker. Stevens in motion, handoff, jet sweep, trying to contain it as Jalen Thomas. He does, holds him up, and the rest of the Cardinals finish off the play.
That's team football right there. Stretch it out, stretch it out. He initiated the blocker and held the ground, made him turn outside as we watch the replay. Goes outside, continues outside, turns him in, and there's your weak side to clean it up for only a 1-yard gain. So it's this time they've been pretty successful on the third down and shorts. This time it's a third down and long. They need about 8 yards.
Sims Marshall looks to the sidelines.
There doesn't seem to be a sense of urgency.
There is, but there's only 3 minutes to play in the half. I know exactly why there's no urgency. He's running the clock down.
Yeah, they're going to burn their third timeout. I know you want to limit Colerain's possessions, but you got to take advantage of you're already down 2 scores.
Let's take this time to give a shout out to the listeners live on wearecolerain.com. Dougie Fresh listening in from Hamilton.
And just a reminder, yes, we cannot, it's an away game, but we are working with Waycross, and probably sometime after midnight we will, especially by the morning, we'll have the link and you can watch the game.
Former Colerain kicker Christian Anevsky likes that 44-yard field goal from Cameron Ott. Couple score updates. It's 10-0 Fairfield. The only score besides that, the only touchdown in that game, a fumble return for a touchdown by Fairfield. Muller trails Elder 14-0, and St. X trails Clarkson North from Canada 6-0. It's like a Canadian All-Star team, don't
That's
you?
what you never know. There's like in there like two teams up there that are like football factories for Canada. The
Football North is the powerhouse. They're playing them.
Where are they playing at? Do you know?
I believe it's at St. X. Football North doesn't have a home field. And if they were playing in Canada, they'd be playing by Canadian rules, so it's at St. X.
So a touchdown's only worth like 4.5 points?
No, they have the same amount, but they do have 1-point tries and 1-point safeties.
They're down an 8.
Sames Marshall, 2 receivers to either side. Steps back, looking, he's pressured right away, and is that L.T. Johnson? Nope, it's Donovan Owens with the sack for the Colerain Cardinals.
First time we've called his name, he just beats his man to the outside. But you could give it to, there's Coleo, there's Thomas, there's a whole host of Colerain. All three of your defensive linemen beat the man and meet at the quarterback. So Justin McCullough again will kick.
Cardinals elected not to use a timeout. They'll let the clock roll here.
They do have all 3 of their timeouts left, but with this offense, they should get a short field here.
McCullough did a good job at least getting air up in the air.
This one's
Pace is going to take it about the 43. He lost control. Bounces right in the hands of the Big Blue. He's going forward, and he will not be able to do it. The by rule, you can't advance a muffed fumble. So the Big Blue will take over at the Cardinal 38.
Not to rub salt in the wounds, but you're supposed to keep your eye on the ball, and that's what he did. That ball had 3 Big Blue running right at him, but that ball bounces directly off his face mask. Big Blue scoop it up and it, but you cannot advance a muffed punt. So it will be a change of possession and a little bit of an improvement in field position, but no score on that play. So they're going to spot the ball with the Colerain, 37?
38.
Nope, a little bit farther back, 38.
So the Cardinals do everything right except the punt. Wildcat Stevens going to take it straight from the backfield, finds some space, and he falls forward right about the first down marker.
Yeah, finally something different from Big Blue. They put their they sat down their quarterback and they put their running back in the wildcat formation. Tight formation, brought in an extra tight end and an extra fullback and run right behind him.
Keyshawn Stevens still on the quarterback, under 2 to play in the half. Takes it right side, trying to bust through, and he's going to be held to just 3 yards on the play.
They seem to send a fullback, that Blake Hawkins, in motion, and he runs directly to behind him. And we've seen the tank formation from Colerain, where you've got the extra beef on one side. You know it's coming, but you still got to stop it.
Stevens comes out. Caleb Johnson comes in. Is Sims Marshall in there somewhere? He's not, so now it's just Caleb Johnson on the Wildcat.
Fresh legs. Offensive line having trouble setting up.
Johnson now trying to get to the outside. He just got some space, trying to find it. Not going to get there. He's brought down after a 1-2-yard gain.
So the first running back takes the first 2 plays behind fullback to the rest side. This time Colerain strings it out. They go left behind the big fullback.
But Coach Mahone has no timeouts left because he ran the clock on himself, making a substitution to his quarterback, and he's wasting precious time on that clock right now.
Burned one of his early timeouts also, trying to draw Colerain off sides. So still out of the Wildcat.
Keyshawn Stevens Wildcat taking it, holding it, and he just kind of centers it in the middle of the field. It was going to be short for the first down, but now the Big Blue have to rush their field goal team onto the field.
You know, every team practices, Colerain does at the end of every practice, the hurry-up field goal.
They don't have to rush too much. They're still going to have about 15 seconds, but still. Well, they are going to rush it by the time they get this play off. They're down to 5. They're just now setting.
Eric Rios is going to try to kick 3.
He just gets the snap off. Kick is up and just enough to get through. So as time expires at the end of one half of play here at Virtual Swarm Stadium at Hamilton High School, it's the Hamilton Big Blue trailing the Colerain Cardinals 10-3.
Good job by the holder right there. That ball bounced to him and barely got over, 12, 15 feet up in the air, but got enough into the end zone in between. So here we are at half. Colerain leads the Big Blue 10-3. with halftime stats and halftime score here at Hamilton Virgin Swarm Stadium, where Colerain Cardinals clinging to a 10-3 lead over the hosting Big Blue. First downs, Colerain with 6, Hamilton with 5. Colerain with just only 19 plays, all of them rushing for 145 yards. Hamilton, 17 rushes, 54 yards, 8 passes for 5 for 8. They've got a total of 25 plays for only 86 yards. Not much happening here offensively for either team. Individual leaders rushing for Colerain. Jalen Thomas, 4 carries, 55 yards. MJ Flowers, 10 carries, 35 yards. Freddie Johnson, 3 carries, 34 yards. Hamza Abdul Wahid, 2 for 21, and he has the only touchdown, a 15-yarder. No receiving or passing stats at all for the Colerain Cardinals. Lawson Sandusky, your punter, has 1 kick for 41 yards. Deshaun Pace, 2 returns for a -3 yards and 1 big fumble on that. That sets up the only field goal and only score for the Big Blue. The Big Blues offense, Keyshawn Stevens leads them in rushing, 10 carries, 80 yards, which is a long of 53. Caleb Johnson, 4 for 6. Quincy Sims Marshalls, 3 carries for -32 yards.
That's a pretty good average.
Not a bad average. So Quincy Sim Marshall, he's 5 for 8 for 30 yards passing with only 11 yards. Leading receiver Darren Bowling is 2 for 31. Your leading tackler for Colerain, Deshaun Pace with a total of 7 tackles. Elijah Ford with 3. Sean Williamson with 3. Xander Kendall with 3. For Hamilton, Kevin Burnett, 4 tackles. Dylan Lee, 3 tackles. Gennaro Zuniga with 3 tackles. And Luke Mateo with 3. Going to get right back, hold on for a second, and we'll get right back to the start of the Waycross broadcast.
And welcome back to Virtual Swarm Stadium on the campus of Hamilton High School as your Colerain Cardinals lead the Hamilton Big Blue 10-3. We have some other scores from around the city and around the league as in the GMC, a game between the undefeated Fairfield Indians and the heavily D1 loaded Princeton Vikings. Fairfield scored first, 6-0. Then Princeton got up ahead, 10-0. Then Princeton with a long pass, followed by a pick 6, went up 13-10. But Juthon McLean, like he has done all year, closed out the half with a 57-yard touchdown. Fairfield leaves Princeton at halftime, 17-13. Sycamore leads Middletown 10-0. Lakota East leads Oak Hills at last I could find 14-0. And at halftime, Lakota West leads Mason, who missed their extra point, 7-6. Elder leads Moeller 35-0. St. X on top of Football North from Clarkson, Canada, 7-6. Covcath leads LaSalle 14-0. That's all I got.
That's all we've got. So limited staff here tonight, but we got second half action getting ready to start.
34-0 Lakota East over Oak Hills.
So Hamilton had taken the ball first possession of the game, so Colerain with the 10-3 lead at this one will start this half with the ball.
Jalen Thomas and Sean Williamson back deep for the Cardinals.
That's Eric Rios, sophomore kicker for Hamilton. Colerain has done nothing but run the ball. 19 carries so far.
Just 19 plays and a half, though. That's what stands out to me. 19 plays for the Cardinals, just 25 for the Big Blue. Thomas going to take the kick at about his own 10. It was a line drive, looking for space. It's not there. Held up right at the 24-yard line. And it'll be officially marked to 23, and that's what the Cardinals will take over for the second half.
Yeah, not a lot of height on the kick, but good coverage by the Big Blue. Really no blocking up front. Your return man just kind of takes the ball, and you want to just look for a crease, and he could find none. So again, the field position battle tonight is being won by Hamilton. Colerain has really started deep in their territory almost every possession, and this one starting at the 24 is probably one of their best starting field positions.
Freddie Johnson under center.
See what kind of adjustments Colerain makes at the half.
Thomas in motion. Stops, nothing there. Resets at the line of scrimmage. Motioning the other way. Slam up. Freddie Johnson gives it to Hamza Abdul-Wahid, and Hamza for 8 yards.
Yeah, MJ Flowers, a sophomore, a couple fumbles early in this game. It looks like given opportunity for Hamza to come in the ball game. Taking advantage right now. It's only 3 carries, but he's got one of the touchdowns. Really fine average. He got 9 on that play. 2nd down and 1.
Sandusky in motion. Hands off to Hamza again. Riding a defender, but it's not until he's past the line of gain. Carries the defender out to the 40-yard line. 1st down, Colerain Cardinals.
He's tough to find in that pile right there. Doesn't need much. What they list him in the program, how big is he? Like 5'7", 5'8"?
Hamza is...
Listed as 5'7", 175 pounds.
And the thing about Hamza, and this is just an experience thing, I think MJ really struggled with staying on your path, staying on your track as your fullback. And Hamza's doing a little bit more experience, knows how to stay on his path and keep the play in the set motion. This time, step back, quarterback, keeper, counter, not there. Freddie Johnson goes down.
Yeah, Hamilton doing a good job up front. I've had a little bit of success on the counters. This time the quarterback counter goes nowhere.
Pulling guard not there, and a good play by number 10 for the Big Blue, Cameron Richardson, to get in the backfield. Be a gain of 1 officially for the Colerain Cardinals. 2nd and 9 to their own 41.
Late substitution. Nope, don't get it on the field for Hamilton Blue. Going just typical wing formation.
Handoff, Hamza Abdul-Wahid gets hit at the 45, still on his feet.
He's 1st down.
He's going to carry it across the midfield, and, well, they're going to give him right just short of midfield. It'll be 3rd down in inches. Certainly looked like he fell past midfield.
Well, see if his knee comes down here now. He runs through contact, and he's carrying, just keeps those legs churning. As he,
okay, yeah, that was the Hamilton guy that fell that far. So it'll be 3rd and about a half yard for the Colerain Cardinals.
And what he does, I love his first step quickness to the hole. No hesitation, just hit it and go.
Hamza takes it right away. He's mad at the line of scrimmage, but he's going to get pushed backwards, but he's going to get the line to gain with his initial forward progress.
I lost him in that pile right there. I'm glad you saw him. He hits that hole quick, but so does the
I didn't need to find him. I just went right to where the referee spotted him. He needed the 50. They gave him about the 50 and a quarter.
50 in a football.
Yeah, 50 in a football is a good way to say it. So Cardinals into Big Blue territory. About just the minimum amount you can be. Handoff, fake, counter, coming back the other way. Sandusky slips, but the defender was probably there already. He'll get just about 1 yard to the 49.
Again, trying for the counter, trying to get them to overplay. Stays home. A good play by James Turner on the outside. Tools him in a little bit. Sandusky does slip, but he was not going to get much more on that unless he breaks the tackle.
Yeah, I think that's one where Sandusky's looking for the home run to the outside and probably just needs to get the 3 or 4 yards up the middle.
Colerain kind of mixed it up a little bit. We saw a little bit of I formation. So far this half, back just their traditional double wing.
Quick pitch outside Jalen Thomas with some speed. Sets up on his blockers. Finds some space and a good run. Jalen Thomas gets the 1st down and more across the Big Blue 30.
Yeah, Jalen Thomas has had the big runs for the night, but the inside sets up the outside, and a lot of people go, hey, why don't they just do that every time? I mean, he's averaging close to 20 yards a carry.
I know I see this offense week to week, but I knew that play was coming like a mile. Like, okay, well, we set this play up, obviously.
And the rain has started here at Hamilton High School.
It's not really a rain as much as it is a
water falling from the sky.
A mist.
So Colerain has it at the Hamilton 28.
Ball's loose, fumble.
Still loose.
And
Hamilton
Big
comes
Blue's
up with
going to get it.
Well, yeah, you can't blame a wet football on that. The Hamilton Big Blue just blows up the mesh, hits the quarterback and fullback at the same time, and they never made contact. So Hamilton does recover the ball.
They'll take over at their own 28-yard line.
That's when you let a team, especially a home team, hang around, you've got to put them away when you get a chance.
Yeah, but I think someone up front had to have stepped the wrong way.
Yeah, that's at Luke Mattia.
It doesn't. Yeah, I mean, Mattia didn't really have to do anything. He just went unblocked. Nobody blocked him. So somebody either stepped the wrong way there up front.
So back to the. Hamilton's going to come. Well, it's not really the Wildcat again, too.
Sims Marshall hands it off to Stevens, trying to find some space. He's going to fall forward for about 5 yards.
First down handoff to number 5, Keyshawn Stevens. And on the stop of the
Haven't really seen anything fancy. Just keep waiting for Hamilton to take a little bit of time and maybe go deep with a play, but really hadn't had a lot of time when they've tried a couple good sacks. This defensive line, Colerain doing a good job.
I'm surprised that Stevens they just haven't tried to pound him, actually. He's getting 3, 4, 5 yards a pop. Second down and 5 for the Big Blue. Handoff. Robinson. He's going to be Johnson. Jeez, I have no idea where Robinson came from.
Robinson is a blocking fullback up front.
Yeah, but I'm going to call out I even called out blocking fullback for Newton.
Well, it is. They've got very similar numbers. Their numbers are rather small on their jersey.
No, that was just me calling the wrong name. I knew exactly.
I'm trying to cover for
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. There was no excuses for that.
3rd and 4.
I've called Johnson Robinson the whole game. And
movement up front.
Someone looked like the right tackle, at least the right side of that offensive line, rocked a little early.
It's going to make a 3rd down and 4 a little bit tougher. He's going to move it back, make it a 3rd down and 9.
Yeah, I mean, I'll keep harping on this, but it's obvious for me right now. Keyshawn Stevens is your best offensive player, and they're kind of rotating him in, and I don't understand.
Well, you want to keep everybody happy, but you're right. You ride the horse that gets you there. So a 3rd down and 9. They need to get to the 37.
That's 38. Exactly what the Cardinals want. That's just a throw and a hope. Deshaun Pace gets it in there, knocks it away.
Yeah, one wide receiver down there just on a little go route. I'm going to defensive back down.
Now I should have had the intercept. That's the pouting.
No, he's grabbing his foot. So getting up with a little bit of limp, but yeah, he just threw it up there, and Pace played safety right well. It was just kind of a jump ball. Kind of banged knees when they went up together.
So McCullough back to punt again.
Williamson hopefully he's okay. We're going to get a timeout. They said quick, and I don't know if Colerain just didn't get the personnel out there quick enough. They had a lot of time there. You really haven't. Pace hasn't really been able to showcase his athleticism as a return man. The punter doesn't really kick it that deep, but he gets enough height where he's not having a routine. Give him time to set up a return. And the only score by the Hamilton Big Blue has been set up by the muffed punt. He's kind of rushed himself and tried to catch a couple that maybe he shouldn't have tried, but gotta like his enthusiasm and wanting to make a play, but you gotta be smart back there.
I mean, in this situation, unless it's super easy to clean, I almost don't even want you with the wind and the rain. Just kind of let it bounce. And
yeah, the punter will have it's picked up a little bit. We got a little bit of weather. Rain has slacked off a little bit, but so you got a little bit of wet football, a little bit of wet turf, but the wind is picked up, and the punter will have the wind at his back.
Looks like the Cardinals are set up for a block, and that's exactly what happened. But they went a little early trying for that block, and it'll be off sides.
Give them that 5 yards back that they got on that false start.
4th and 4 now.
4th and 4. Making a higher chance here for a fake, but I don't think they'll do it in this situation.
I bet it's 4th and 4. Cardinals still have everyone up like they're trying for the block. Snap is back. Cardinals bringing pressure. McCullough gets it off, and it's got the wind really picking that up. But Pace is going to have some strides space, picks one tackle. Can't break a third or fourth. No, maybe he can. Nope, he can't. Goes down. But the Cardinals will take over at their own 37-yard line.
I saw some at the end. I don't know if you saw it. It looked like Avante Scales was trying to get the ball from Pace. Pace was getting tackled with a couple of Big Blue around him. And if we watch here, we get a little replay. We'll be able to see that later. Scales is like, I got it. Give me the ball.
Now, if he's playing rugby, that's one of those things you can do.
Yeah.
But the play is also dead in rugby if the falls forward, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah, but this isn't rugby.
Yeah, that isn't the right sport. You don't practice giving the ball like that.
So Colerain with their one of their best field positions to start a drive at their own 37. This clock's going fast. 6:25 left to play in this third quarter.
Motion handoff, Hamza net,
Already?
and picks up about 3 yards on the play.
Yeah, Colerain is pounding up the middle, and had some success when they go outside with maybe the pitch. The counters haven't worked, but I'd almost like to see Freddie keep the ball a little bit more. But, you pick your poison on defense, and you're committing to stop the fullback, which is they're doing. So waiting for this Colerain coaching staff to make some type of adjustment, or just give credit to Big Blue for playing good defense.
Handout, quick pitch outside. Thomas again uses blockers, setups up well. Tried to cut back, but they're going to say he's down. Didn't stand his feet, so he's just going to get a 2-yard gain on the play.
On the stopper, Hamilton, number 10.
Yeah, they go quick pitch to the outside. Gets a good block and turns it up there, but a good pursuit by Hamilton. Gets a clip on him and just touches his elbow.
It's just his elbow. That's all it was.
His feet, his knees didn't touch, but his elbow don't. So a third down, let's call it 6. So this might be a good situation for Colerain.
Cardinals got to get the play in quick. They're down to 5 seconds on the play clock. And Hamza gets nothing on the play.
It's a straight fullback dive. They looked to the side like they were going to make some type of change in that play. It's going to bring up a 4th down. Lawson Sandusky back to kick.
So the Cardinals forced to punt again here in the third quarter. Sandusky will be punting against the wind, however. High snap, Sandusky brings it down. Just gets it off, and it's a high floater up in the air. Big Blue will let it bounce, and it'll take a Cardinal hop inside. Nope, not inside, right at the 20.
Tell you a good thing, Lawson Sandusky has done a great job back there. We've seen it a couple times where he's used his athleticism. A lot of punters are not going to catch that snap. And then he gets a quality kickoff after that and no return. But he saves a big play there by going high up in the air, knock that down to just save.
So Cardinals still lead 10-3 here with 4:14 to play.
So at their own 20, Big Blue with the ball.
Sims Marshall hands it off. Johnson in motion, jet sweep, cut it back inside. He's met by a host of Cardinals, but not before he picks up about 5 yards.
Yeah, Xander Kendall turns him inside. Caught Colerain kind of shifted a little bit, showing us a little bit something there. They've been pounding the ball up the middle. It's one of their first jet sweeps. Going to pick up 5. And again, only down 7 points. They can take their time and run this clock down.
So far, it looks like they've won a short of the Sims Marshall looks. He's flushed, looking deep, and gets his receiver right to the sidelines, Aaron Bolin.
Bolin does a great job there. There's coverage. Forces him to the outside, but uses that 6'3" frame to shield off the defender and uses his body to almost like a little rebound right there. Him to the outside and just gets.
I'll be honest though, Colerain Cardinals, I don't guard anyone else. He as soon as he took that ball, he was looking at 13. He didn't look at anyone else.
He hasn't looked at 3 on the other side at all.
3 does have 1 catch, but it was almost like when it was designed to go that way.
Little confusion on the play. One of the Hamilton running backs goes in motion. Quarterback doesn't think he's supposed to go in motion.
Sends him back.
5 seconds left in the play clock.
They're going to get it off. Handoff fake. Sims Marshall keeps it, but he's bottled up in the backfield, and he's just going to run out of bounds for no gain.
Yeah, that play was doomed before it even starts. They faked the jet sweep, but he went in motion too early. He had to go back and set himself. Then he keeps it, and it just, all that rushing really confused that offensive lineman, and they lose a couple yards on the play.
So he loses officially 2, be second and 12 for the Big Blue.
So Williamson looks like he's all right. He's back in at cornerback. So is this play clock?
They're not going to get the play off. There's no what. I just snap it just once at a time. Sims Marshall passes out and into the flat just enough to pick up about 3 yards.
You know, if Colerain had another score, they couldn't run it down like this. But they're just content to run this all the way down to 1. They get single coverage to the outside. Does a good job to make the tackle, but allows the Colerain defense to collapse around them. Going to bring up a 3rd down and 9.
It's been kind of the situation here in the second half. Cardinals can't get much going. Big Blue gets a couple of things going and then gets stuck in 3rd and long and can't convert.
So we're on the play clock down to 5, 4. Colerain, I believe, might have been drawn off sides. The defensive end on that left side.
Came off side, so it'll be a go from 3rd and long to 3rd and middle.
LT Johnson just kind of leaned over like that's going to make this 3rd down a little bit more manageable.
And you see that they got the running back kind of tucked in between the guards to be a personal protector, really protecting the defensive line. But when LT's really just going off of that first motion, but that motion is not the lineman. It's the running back going in motion in the backfield.
Yeah, they've run a lot behind that running back.
So 3rd and 4, Big Blue at their own 42-yard line. Handoff Caleb Johnson, and he is short of the line again.
Big hit. Xander Kendall, middle linebacker, stops. It's going to stop them. They're going to be about 2 yards short. Probably too deep in their own territory, I think, to go for it. Leaving the offense out there, but it's hard to say. They're running this play clock down, but the punter is standing near the coach. But is he going to run it down and burn up another timeout?
Nope, he sends his punt team out. But, again, this is a good spot for a fake.
Yeah, middle of the field, you only need 3 yards. Your running back, a lead running back, is your personal protector back there.
You need less yards than that.
Pace returnable if he gets a seam.
Pace catches it on seam, but he's not going to get any blocking because it's not his normal blocking scheme out there.
Pace didn't go down. There is a flag on the
It's going to be a blocking foul of some sorts on the Cardinals for sure.
Yeah, it's one of those away from the play crackback blocks. Didn't see it, but I did see a Big Blue defender away from the play flying to the ground. So where this would have been Colerain's 1st down at the 43, it's going to be a block in the back.
So it'll be the 33. Cardinals offense has really struggled here in the second half.
And the creativity, I really haven't seen much. They haven't changed much. They haven't attempted a pass. You know, this would be a good time where, the linebackers and safeties are really close up in the box if they can release somebody deep.
Handoff, jet sweep, Jalen Thomas. He's got the outside. He's finally going to be pushed out of bounds, but not before he picks up a 1st down across the 43.
And a tight formation from the offense gives a tight formation from the defense, and Thomas just comes on the jet sweep, uses his speed, a good block on the outside. Lawson Sandusky does a great job knocking him down and just follows his blockers to the outside. along with Isaiah Myers, your 6'4" wide receiver, playing a little bit of wide guard out there, leading the way for a first down.
We can't. If there's, as much as the offense has struggled tonight, Isaiah Myers has done a good job on the edge tonight. He sprung Thomas on that big play earlier. Johnson out to Sandusky, and he will be hitting the backfield.
I tell you, there's a late flag coming down on the play.
Ball carrier was number 17, Lawson Sandusky.
In the area of holding.
But also, it's at where Sandusky was tackled.
So did they get a face mask? Yes, it looks like they're going to walk it off.
5-yard face mask on the Big Blue.
So a 3-yard loss is now a 2-yard gain.
And a first down, so it'll be first down and 8 for the Colerain Cardinals.
Big Blue does a good job stretching this out, but makes him pitch the ball for one of the first times tonight, but the defender is right there to take him down.
Cardinals go to I formation and still looking. Clock down to 5 on the play clock. Step back, fakes it. Freddie Johnson looks. He's got Jalen Thomas open. Waits too long, and he's knocked away.
Yeah, they were chasing the deep man down there, and he found Jalen Thomas found a little crease underneath the linebacker. But you're right, Freddie got him the ball there a little bit late.
If he throws it right away, he's got the first down, but he kind of hitches.
Well, his eyes was following the wide receiver deep, and he's looking, he's not there, and it's kind of the outlet there, and just a little bit late.
So second down and 8 for the Cardinals. 4 seconds to play. It'll be the last play of the third quarter. Pitch, Jalen Thomas was supposed to go left. He cuts it right up the middle. Still on his feet. He's not down yet. Nope, they're going to officially mark him down.
I didn't hear a whistle.
I didn't hear a whistle, but the referees are spotting him where everyone thought he went down. That play was designed to go left, but the blockers, Thomas just follows him inside, goes right, and that'll be the final play of the third quarter. So after 3 quarters to play here at Virgil Swarm Stadium at Hamilton High School, it's the Colerain Cardinals 10, the Hamilton Big Blue 3.
Yeah, Hamilton Big Blue, I mean, they I don't know if they've done a lot of film work, really kind of scouted that there. It was overplaying the pitch. As you're right, everybody was out there, and that play was designed to go outside left, and it goes inside right. Makes something out of nothing, but good film work and preparation by Big Blue has taken away the big play from the Colerain offense.
So, Cardinals have done really nothing here in the second half. The only saving grace is that Hamilton's done nothing so far here in the second half.
Rain's come completely to a stop here. Colerain only attempting one pass, and again, with a couple safeties, I said Michael Best, a couple injuries, Michael Best being out, Elijah Ford playing a little bit more, starting on defense right now.
He started on defense. Brian Beavers did.
Yeah.
It's been playing defense the whole time.
It kind of takes
hands off, hands up. He stopped initially, keeps his feet going, and he's got the first down. Elijah Ford's played defense exclusively the whole year. It's Brian Beavers, the tight end, that's moved over to play middle linebacker for the injured Michael Bess.
Freddie Johnson is out of the ball game.
No, he's not. Oh, yeah, it is. Sean Pace now in it, Wildcat quarterback.
Well, we've seen this, so not really much of a question. What goes, and it just, which is he going left? Is he going right? They bring Ford in. Played a little bit of wing back.
Handoff, Jalen Thomas follows his blockers, and he's going to be ruled down by the referee.
Yeah. Very obviously down before that call. The ball pops out.
It's not fairly obviously, just because he's a Colerain guy.
As we see here in the replay, looking for a little bit of seam, gets hit, goes down.
That's a fumble.
That's a fumble.
Fairly obviously.
Wow.
That was a fumble.
Yeah. So I know you don't get to hear it at home, but we're watching the replay from our Waycross booth. Nice shot right here. Colerain benefit of a quick whistle right there. Should have been a fumble. It's not.
Still on the Wildcat.
Second down and 8.
Pace fakes the handoff to Thomas. He's got some
See ya.
space, and he's going to go all the way. There's no one's going to catch him to the 10, the 5. Touchdown to Sean Pace. 6 points for the Colerain Cardinals.
Yeah, this time he keeps the ball. He fakes the ball to him. This time keeps it himself, and great blocking up front. Your offensive line, a big hole by Stegmuller, Kurt, Ehrenschwender, Carnes, and Malik. And once he gets in space, there's very few people in the city of Cincinnati that's going to catch him in a foot race.
For the Cardinals, into attempt to point after number 80, Cameron Ott.
So Cameron Ott's going to be teeing it up.
Aaron Swinner with the snap. Prather's hold is down. Kick is up. And kick is good with 10:29 to play. It's your Colerain Cardinals 17. The Big Blue of Hamilton 3.
Now up 2 scores. It'd be interesting. A Big Blue cannot run the clock down now. See if they pick up the pace a little bit with a little sense of urgency. When you're down 1 score, you want to keep it close and look for that turnover. But now down 2 scores, there's a little bit more high priority to get the ball and get it back quickly. Thanks again to all the volunteers here at Waycross, the guys in the camera, the guys in the truck, the guys in the booth that allow us to bring you, showcase our student athletes. Not great weather, so it's they're all volunteers. So thank you guys for what you do and helping us do what we do.
And the kickoff for the Cardinals, number 80, Cameron Ott.
Cameron Ott's going to tee up the ball at his own 40-yard line.
For Hamilton, number
Johnson.
6, Khalil Soul.
Soul, Johnson, and Burnett. Ott really hasn't got a little bit of wind behind him this time. He's been popping it up with mixed success.
He hasn't really tried for a touchback almost all season. And that will be a squib in a similar spot. Bounces off the up man, but he'll pick it up. That up man was actually Keyshawn Stevens, so I think they anticipate it. So Keyshawn able to get it to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, I kind of like these squib kicks, especially if you've had a little bit of rain. I mean, I know it's an artificial turf, but the water, it kind of dews, it kind of sticks to the grass. It doesn't really soak in, so that ball just kind of scoots along a little bit, tough to pick up. So Hamilton's going to take the ball over, down 14 points at their own 30.
As my dad tries not to laugh as I tried to hold in a sneeze there. Sims Marshall.
I was holding my breath as you were holding the sneeze. So
Sims Marshall in the shotgun. He's got his main receiver to the left, 2 to the right. Big Blue now down 2 scores. Snap, fakes it, rolls right. Looking, nothing there, and it's a throwaway.
Yeah, didn't have time to find a deep receiver right there. Kevin Burnett down there. Great coverage.
And part of me doesn't blame Sims Marshall because I think it's designing the plays, but he's only got 2. He's rolling one left or right almost every time, and he's got either 1 or 2 reads, and that's it. No one was there, and he just throws it away.
Didn't have time to wait for the outside receiver had a deep route and had single coverage, but a lot of pressure right there. Just not a well-designed play.
Jet sweep fake. Sims Marshall keeps it. He's got some space up the middle, and he's going to get across for the first down.
Haven't seen him really run that much. He's been handing the ball off almost every time, and this time Colerain overplays it, and he finds a gap up the middle. Bring it out to their own 42.
Cardinals really overplayed that fake jet sweep. And they'll pick up enough for the first down. Sims Marshall now. Man in motion, hands it off up the middle, and
Corleone.
Up the middle is Dante Corleone. Caleb Johnson bounces off, but he's going to bounce off backwards, fall back, and they're going to give him the line of scrimmage for his forward progress.
Yeah, Corleone makes first contact. I tell you what, there's Xander Kendall right there. Elijah Ford's going to get credit for that tackle, but there was really no hole for him to run through. Second down and 10.
Sims Marshall sends a man in motion. Rolls to his right away, looks at Keyshawn Stevens in the flat. He makes the initial tackler miss, and that's the second time he's made Deshaun Pace miss an open field. This time he makes him miss right away, and he gets it forward for a first down for the Big Blue.
Well, he finds this third receiver right there. They run the big wide receiver on the clear out and just drop it to the running back underneath.
That's a design play to get it to that Stevens in the flat. Handoff. Caleb Johnson found some seam, got it at 4, and he's got another Hamilton Big Blue first down.
Yeah, I think this pickup of a pace, they're not running the clock down. I think your team gets in a little bit of a rhythm. I think standing around eating the clock like they just did just kind of take a little bit of fire out of for your players.
Sims Marshall looks, quick look to Burnett. He makes one man miss, can't make Pace miss. He's going to pick up about 3 yards on the quick out.
Yeah, just sits down in front of the defensive back, trying to get the athletes in space.
It was almost like he faked the double move with a third move to come back.
To come back to that, that's all it is, just pretty much a long handoff. But when you've got 3 defenders out per one receiver, it's one guy missed the tackle. There's a lot.
Handoff, Keyshawn Stevens is trying to get the outside. He gets outside of Thomas, cuts it back in, and he gets across the 20-yard line for a Big Blue first down.
So inside the Colerain 20. Sean Williamson makes the tackle. The ball spotted at the 19.
Snap back, Stevens gets it again, and he's falling forward. He's going to run into a group of Cardinals, but he's still going to get 3 yards on the play.
A little bit of movement up front.
See, I don't know if that was movement or just half the team didn't go on the snap.
It was an odd look from up here. I think it was kind of a combination of both.
Sims Marshall looks one way, looks back the other, going to throw it up.
Picked
off, but there's
you're not calling.
There's a flag
jump ball
on the field. Deshaun Pace, or was it Brandon Sinclair picked it off? What's the call?
They had a jump ball, just a corner route. Defender goes up with as much right to the ball as the offensive player. They tip the ball up.
It's going to be holding on the Cardinals, not pass interference.
Which is just 5 yards.
It's 10 yards.
10 yards.
It's half the distance to the goal. So it'll be first and goal from the 9 for the Big Blue.
The holding must have been before the pass.
Pass actually ended up incomplete out of the hands of Sinclair. Handoff. Johnson's knocked down after a gain of about 1.
Yeah, nice play from the outside. Jalen Thomas just closed down.
Second and goal from the 8. You got to think down 2 touchdowns. This is 4-down territory regardless of the situation here.
Yeah, absolutely. Down 2 scores, down 14 points. 7 minutes left to play.
Handoff, Keyshawn Stevens. He's going to get blocks downfield. Does he get enough space to find the end zone? Not quite. Out of bounds. We're saying about the 1. Nope, he's actually at the 4-yard line is where they're going to say he stepped out. So the Cardinals string that out, but Hamilton does a good job at least to keep that strung out going forward. That's a really bad spot to get him the ball at the 4-yard line. He probably should have had at least the 2.
Does stop the clock when he gets out of bounds.
Handoff, Stevens tries to go outside, cuts it back. He's met by 3 Cardinals and a couple more, and he's going to get no gain. 4th down and goal for the Big Blue.
Kind of an interesting area, 4 yards to get. I mean, it might be a.
You know how I said earlier why they aren't feeding Stevens? Now I feel like they're feeding Steve. Like, why doesn't Sims Marshall just pull that back and score a touchdown? No one was on him to pick this up. 4th and goal from the 4-yard line. Big Blue knocking on the Cardinal door.
Yeah, I don't know if those reads are predetermined and it's not really a true read. It's a give.
Mahone is taking a long time to get this play in.
Is he going to burn up a timeout here with only 5 seconds left in the play clock? 4, 3.
Just gets it off. And the pass sails high, incomplete. Cardinals will take over.
go for it on fourth down, and they went for their leading receiver. That's Darren.
And they didn't even do it like they're in such a rush, and that's all on the coaching staff right there. Sims Marshall gets away a quick pass, and I think the play is there, but they were in such a rush to get the play off that no one is kind of floated in the right position. The quarterback's rushing to get the play off, so he rushes the pass, and it sails high.
So Colerain stops them on fourth down with 6:03 left to play, but deep in their own end zone with only one passing attempt so far for the Colerain Cardinals, which is incomplete. I don't expect for them really to do much other than feed the fullback a couple times and get out of their own shadow of their own end zone.
I throw the ball 96 yards to Isaiah Myers here. I'm kidding. I would not. I would hand the ball to Hamza.
Tight formation. They've actually gone tank.
And they're not even going to bother with the handoff. Freddie Johnson keeps it spinning, falls forward, and he might gets it across the 10-yard line to the 11.
Quarterback number 1, Freddie Johnson. On the stop for Hamilton,
Exactly
6,
what they wanted to do right there, just clears them in. Brought in a big defensive lineman back to play a little fullback, follows behind them. It's going to pick up 7 on the play.
To the 11. That's a convenient spot. 7-11, you get it?
Yep.
Okay. Just making sure everyone
That's
got
why
it.
I laughed so heartily.
Cardinals give it. Hamza still on his feet, and I think the only reason he didn't keep going forward is because he just ran into his own man there. A little bit. Go ahead.
They almost had, if they look at this, if he can get outside right here.
There's no one there. They switch it up. They motion 2 guys over, flip that kind of tank formation, put 2 guys on the weak side, and you're right. If Hamza goes over there, he's got room to run.
Almost like to see maybe a quarterback counter out of this because they're going to overplay the strong side every time.
It's a first down for the Cardinals to the Big Blue 14. Again, they send the 2 backs the other way.
Quarterback counter off of it.
Elijah keeps it, outs it, and if Elijah Ford makes his block, it's a touchdown, but Elijah Ford misses his block, and it's just 7 yards. If Elijah Ford seals that guy in the end, there's no one on that side of the hash marks to pick up Freddie Johnson.
Well, 6 does a good play out there.
No, Elijah Ford just missed him.
Missed him? Okay. Why
But that's why he's not an offensive player, so give him credit. He's a defensive player. He's out there because of his athletic prowess.
Back to the wing formation. Double wing.
Normal offensive personnel back out there for the Cardinals. Handoff.
Nope, he
Freddie
kept it.
keeps it. He's got some space. Can he turn it upfield? He's trying to go to the sidelines. He turns it up and gets to the 35-yard line. You know what I saw there? Freddie was slowed about a half step because he had to reset. Well, if you look at him here on the replay in Waycross, he does a little tug. He had to adjust his helmet mid-run because he couldn't see where he was going.
Well, does a great job. He sees that he's going to be run out of bounds and goes down to keep the clock rolling. So down to 4 minutes and 15 seconds.
Well, it was at 16 you said 15, but yeah.
Anticipation of the next second coming up.
Freddie Johnson.
And they were setting up a jet sweep right there. It looks like one of the offensive line moved a little bit quick right there.
I'm going to go with the cadence of the quarterback was off to not put blame on the offensive lineman.
But when the stadium is as quiet as it is
Yeah, I
right
know.
now, we can hear the referee call out Dalen.
Well, no, he jumped, but I think it's because
Something was a little off.
something was a little off on the timing of the motion and the cadence of the.
This has been the quietest game.
It's so quiet out there.
It's like, shh, there's a game going on.
Send Sandusky in motion. Hamza gets it on the fullback trap underneath. He'll get back to the original line of scrimmage and a few yards more.
Yeah, where they had jumped off sides on the jet sweep, this time they run underneath it.
It's the second time we've seen that, and Hamza does a little better job this time of finding the cutback space, taking what the defense gives him.
And what a great job by our Waycross crew. That's what shows exactly what he does well. Not the tallest guy. He runs real strong, but he can hide in that in a little bit of creases right there and follow the offensive line. 2nd and 8.
Jet sweep, Jalen Thomas, and he is trapped up inside and will be held to a minimal gain.
But that does continue the clock. Hamilton does. No, they've used all 3 other timeouts.
No, they have all 3 of their timeouts.
Okay, just looking at the board.
3rd and 7 for the Cardinals. It'll be an interesting play call here. Do you risk the pass or do you just kind of let the clock roll?
I passed it. Got Tyler Williams calling the plays, the first-year offensive.
What we do know what's going to happen is they're going to run this clock and call timeout.
What we do know is it has started to rain again.
So timeout Cardinals as the play clock reaches 0. There'll be 2:42 to play.
We said, as young as this offense is, and we're halfway through this season, they've matured a little bit, and getting a little bit more confident. Hopefully, is as you said, Colerain's all-time leading rusher is now the offensive coordinator. And as we've got I tell you what, the rain really has cut loose. So thanks again. In this kind of weather, we really appreciate all of our volunteers here from Waycross. You guys on the camera, I'm dry on the inside, but I'm with you in spirit getting wet here.
I'm pretty much just telling you to just, Yep.
So thanks, dear. Here we are, 17-3. Colerain leads the Hamilton Big Blue here at Schwarm Stadium. 2:42 left to play in 3rd quarter. It is 3rd down and call it a long 7.
Cardinals will.
Gone back to the Wildcat formation.
Elijah Ford at fullback. Pace at.
Can Pace throw the ball?
Fakes the handoff to Jalen Thomas to keep it and go right. He kind of stumbles over his own legs, keeps it, and he's going to be about 2 yards short and a timeout from the Big Blue.
Pace just looked like he was so excited that he was going to run the ball that he almost tackled himself. You get a little bit too excited and run a little bit faster than your legs want to take you. Had a little bit of crease there. It was kind of well blocked, but he just kind of stumbled over himself trying to make the cut right here as he fakes the jet sweep. Goes around the outside, and there's something, it's slight hesitation, but good defensive play. Give Hamilton Big Blue, other than the big run, have stopped the big plays from the Colerain Cardinals. Colerain averaging over 25 points a game right now. It's just been held to 17. Interesting, and I don't think they will go for it here at 4.
That's a good spot for a fake, though.
But up 2 scores is a sportsman-like actually to attempt a fake at this point.
Well, actually, you might want to see it. It might be just Boston Sandusky is one of your starting tailbacks. It might just be he's also your punter. He does that rugby style. It might just be roll, and if it's there, take it. But
he's also thrown a touchdown pass this year.
Well, you're not going to throw the ball, but. And this wind is in his favor, just gusting now at his back.
Gale force wind. It is actually the goal post. Oh, if he can kick this one, he can. Well,
if he gets this
anywhere up in the air, it might not come down.
It's a big, important snap, though. It's a wobbly snap, but Sandusky gets it, and that ball is just hanging up in the air, and it'll be pushed, land inside the 5.
If you can get a shot of Lawson Sandusky's reaction to a kick, he goes, I didn't kick it that hard.
No, but he'll get credit for a 56-yard punt that he didn't want to go that far, but the wind just pushes it right back in. And for the Cardinals defense, Hamilton offense, the way this wind is pushing right back at him, it's going to make any passing attempts very, very difficult.
Impossible. But yes, Sandusky was just looking to pooch kick it, just find an area, just get it off. And that ball just kept going, but it is blowing out there.
So those Big Blue going out into a heavy wind and rain.
But what also means is one misstep by the defense, and someone can go the defense.
Keyshawn Stevens will get out of bounds after about a 1 yard gain.
So 2:17 left to play in this fourth quarter.
Coaching staff just lost their papers out the window next to us.
Hopefully that wasn't the, hopefully that might be the playbook tonight. That's a joke, coaches.
Sims Marshall keeps it, and clock will continue to run, but it'll stop because Donovan Owens' helmet came off. He'll have to come out. The clock will momentarily stop. A break for the Big Blue. It'll be 3rd and 6 after the quarterback draw.
Josh Ringer will come into the ball game.
I don't know what they are doing. They're down 2 scores, and there's time.
I believe the quarterback's hurt. Somebody's hurt or something.
Well, if he's hurt, you got to tell him to just go down.
Something was going on. I don't know if he's hurt. He's not coming
You
out
know what?
now. Maybe he just didn't like the win.
I'm just saying, Colerain has been not very good tonight, and really has left this game for the opportunity for Hamilton to take it. And Coach Mahone has not done a good job, served his team well tonight.
They did their best on offense when they were behind and they had to hurry up. They set a pace. I think they did themselves a disservice. I said it earlier when they tried to slow the pace down, and it slows your own pace down. It's hard for your running backs, or hard for your quarterback, hard for everybody to set a rhythm to the game when you're trying harder to slow down the other team than score yourself.
We'll see a new quarterback. I can't get a number. No, it's Stevens and a quarterback.
Yeah, he's still got the yellow shoes.
and the wind and the rain is just awful right now at this point. It's not a heavy, but it is a misty rain with a heavy wind behind it.
It's heavier than you think, Brendan, from your angle.
Well, it's not big, giant drops. It's just like a spray.
It's stinging.
Stevens keeps it. Wildcat quarterback. He will be short of the line to gain. It'll be 4th down.
So bring up a 4th down and 3. Colerain's not even going to worry about calling a timeout to stop the clock.
Well, why would they call a timeout to stop the clock?
I said they're not even worried about it.
Why would that even be the case?
Just in case anybody at home wanted just to hear an opinion that was wrong.
And the Cardinals jumped off sides.
So he was trying to anticipate the snap. It was a pace on the outside. Hesitated just slightly from the snap, and he crosses the line. Will give the Big Blue the 1st down.
And I know you're down 2 scores. To me, why is it? I know he's a good athlete, but you have to have someone who can at least threaten pass here right now, because the Cardinals are bringing 9 and double teaming the wide receiver on the outside.
Well, that was your pace. Your deep safety was there on the blitz. You only got 1 receiver in the play, and all you're doing is running quarterback draws. And he takes it again. Stevens back at the running back, playing a little bit of Wildcat, picks up 1.
There's no sense of urgency, and it's like they've just accepted defeat.
Well, I just think everybody's happy that the clock is still running. In one of the fastest games I believe we've seen in a long time. So 2nd down and 9 again. Snap back to the running back.
Johnson's just going to take it, and the Cardinals know.
They don't have another play that they're running out of it, so just everybody go for the guy that's playing.
I'm not even worried about the play calls. I'm more knowing the play, what's happening. It's just that there's no backup quarterback that can throw the ball in a 2-minute situation here? Or is Hamilton just happy to lose by 2 scores?
Don't know. Just take a chance. Well, I mean, it is an incredible wind that's blowing directly at him, but just a throw and a hope. You've got a 6'3" wide receiver. And if you look, Hamilton's already lined up to shake hands. Well, I can't see the
They
clock.
don't have to snap it if they don't want to. And they won't. That'll do it. That'll be the game. Ball game's over. Colerain Cardinals will win 17-3 in an ugly contest with the Hamilton Big Blue. Final here. Colerain 17, Hamilton 3. Thank you for watching on Waycross Community Television, listening on wearecolerain.com. See us next week as the Colerain Cardinals host the Mason Comets.